morning. I'd like to begin by welcoming everybody here back in the Montreal Forum, where on September 2nd, Team Canada started its journey. As you may know, I am head coach Harry James Sinden, and I'm proud to announce that Team Canada is back on Canadian soil and that our boys on the 28th of September were victorious in Moscow. Although we may have lost our first game in this very building, it was not a testament to the rest of the series. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Paul Henderson, who scored for Canada in the final minute of Game 8, allowing us to take the series. But let's not forget the rest of our outstanding players, including, but not limited to, Phil Esposito, who earned the most points out of all the players involved in the series, Bobby Clark, Ivan Cournoyer, and our two goalies, Tony Esposito and Ken Dryden. After this series, Canadian hockey has once again proved itself to be the best in the world. I will now take questions from the press.
Mr. Sinden, this is John Smith from the CBC. First of all, congratulations on your victory against the Soviet Union. So my question is, how did you and the rest of the team feel after that very embarrassing defeat to the Russians in Game 1 of this series?
Well, to call it embarrassing may be a little bit of an understatement. I would say that the Forum, along with the rest of Canada, sat in disbelief at the 7-3 victory by the Soviet Union. The team and I knew that a lot of changes had to be done in order to win the rest of our games. The Russians proved to us that, well, they weren't as weak as we had originally anticipated. And as a team and as a coach, I knew that we now had to put our game faces on and that we were going to have to play hard till the very last minute.
Sir, Mike Oxford, the New York Times. Could you describe the 8-game series and give us a quick recap on the game?
Well, as you may know, the series went 4 games to Canada, 3 games to Russia, and 1 game was tied. I'd like to highlight the fact that Canada was down 3 games to 1 to the Soviet Union at one point, and that, it took quite a lot of guts to come all the way back up from that. I'm sure that we took the Kremlin, along with the rest of Russia, by surprise, beating them 3 games in a row. There were certain plays, like when Russian player was like Mikhailov may have kicked some of our boys, like, I don't know, Bergman in the leg or something like that, but that's the game after all, and I forgive them. And we may have had some substantial losses, but also some substantial victories. And these games demonstrated the willpower and determination of our boys in red and white.
Mr. Sinden, Jean-Michel from the Montreal Gazette. Finally, if there's one message that you could leave us before the end of the conference, what would that message be?
Well, as Canadians, we should all be proud of what we've accomplished athletically over these past few weeks. These 8 games not only symbolize our resilience, but our confidence, and also our love of the game. This series, these games, and this sporting event might be the beginning of a new chapter between Canada and the USSR. I know I may only be a hockey coach, but I know if we can find common ground in the Montreal Forum or in the Luzinski Palace in Moscow, who says we can't do the same sitting at a table discussing foreign policy? It's a triumphant moment in Canadian sports history, and I'm sure not many of us will soon forget. Thank you.